Hi everyone, this is Heidi Moyer. I am the Eastern Regional Coordinator for the State Advocate Program, for those of you who don't know me or don't frequently are in contact with me. And this is a video to be able to show you step by step how to set up a Facebook page group for your state as the state advocate. Now, I'm actually in the process of adjusting the welcome packet because the pictorial information and step by step has changed because Facebook has actually reformatted. For those of you that are on it enough to see, before you would have to click somewhere down in here to create a group, and now the button's actually up here. So this is actually the perfect time for us to do this. So we're going to go through step by step on how to create a Facebook group and kind of the settings that you need to set, or at least the settings you can be aware of how to set it. So just a little intro on this. The state advocates did have to get special permission from the board of directors of AGPT to be able to have our own Facebook groups within each state. Now, these recommendations did come from the last board of directors with Bill and Jill, and are not necessarily the standards that Greg and Kathy have set, but we have not contacted them to try to change anything because we feel like the way that it's working right now is okay. So if you guys have any suggestions on things you'd like to change in kind of the standards which we agreed upon with the board of directors, please just let us know, and we can definitely contact Kathy or Greg to try to get permission to update this. So, the purpose of a Facebook group, for those of you who have not frequented them, or maybe you're brand new to Facebook, there are still people out there who don't have Facebooks yet necessarily, and that's just fine. But the purpose of this group is for you to be able to communicate with your state members in terms of advertising events or disseminating information from the AGPT, as well as your members to be able to communicate with each other. Now, in our last call, we did discuss how, sometimes members don't always own that space of that Facebook group for the state. And I believe it might have been Kelly from Washington who said it took a year or two before people actually started taking the initiative to post in the space itself. So if it starts out really slow, don't worry about it, and don't feel bad. So we're going to start out. First, you have to have an actual Facebook profile because you will be creating it from your profile. So you do need to sign up for Facebook. Once you get your profile, you're going to see this blue toolbar up at the top. You're going to click the Create button, and there's going to be a drop-down page that says Page, Add, Group. Sorry about that. That is my dog in the background. I swear that's not me. We're going to click on Group, and you're going to get this pop-up screen. Now, the name of your group does have to be pretty standard. What they typically want is your state and then the words members of AGPT. So I created one for Illinois, and since I've already done that, I'm going to do Illinois, and I'm just going to put 2 so I can go back and delete this later after I do this video. And it's going to be Illinois members of AGPT. So all of the names of the Facebook group have to have this following the state name, number 1. So it's unified throughout and the same for throughout every state. So if somebody, in maybe Illinois moves up to Michigan, they can join the Michigan page and they know exactly what to look for the AGPT state page. And again, I just put 2 here so I can delete it later. You can also add some people while you're doing it. So I'm going to really confuse my husband, and I'll add him. And I'll go ahead and I'll add Beth, and I'm sure I'll get a message about, what are you doing, Heidi? But watch the video, Beth. So if you have friends who are AGPT members in the state that you want to go ahead and add and populate, you can do that. There are also ways later to add members, and we will cover that as well. As far as privacy goes, there are 3 different levels of privacy. A public group, so anyone can find the group, see who's in it, and see what they post. A closed group, anyone can find the group, but only members can see who's in it and what they post. And a secret group, only members can find the group, see who's in it, and what they post. Right now, the board of directors is really pushing to help with membership and trying to have people find value in being a member of the AGPT. And so we really recommend that you set it to be a public group so anyone can find it and see who's in it and see what they post. But in order to interact with the page, they do have to be a member. to post and to comment and to like different posts and whatnot. But we do recommend using this. And then you can also pin it to your shortcuts. So if you want to make sure that the page is visible and easy to get to you, you can click this button and it will pop up on your shortcuts over here. So I have Team Livid, which is a bridesmaid group that I'm in right now for wedding coming up. The Bridesmaids of Awesome was one that I made for my wedding. Illinois members of AGPT, Stay Steady, VT is the group that was made before the standards were set in Vermont, Oklahoma members, and then there's a lot more as well. So the next step is to click Create. And it's going to, boom, create your page. Now you're not done yet. There's still a lot of things that we need to go through in order to make everything look great. So the first thing I recommend doing is uploading a photo. So you can either upload one from a computer, you can choose a photo. When you do that, you're choosing from your photos, so there's really no difference in the button. I would say choose from my photos, but you have to have a photo already that you want to put up here. What we recommend is putting something related to your state. So we're not actually allowed to use the AGPT logo because we don't want people to get confused between what the AGPT page is and what the state page is and have them not join the national page. So for like the Illinois members, I have a street sign that says Illinois. You can just use a Google search. So I Google searched Illinois under images. So I'm going to use this one. If you don't know how to pull an image off of the internet, I'm going to show you right now. So you click on the image you want to use. You scroll down. You find the image. You click on it here. So it was gone. I click on it so it pops up like this. Right click. Save image as. And you can find a place to save it. So I'm just going to save it to my desktop so I can get rid of it later. Illinois, and I'm going to save. I can go back here. I can choose from my photos. And that's going to bring up your Facebook photos. I don't want to do that. So I want to upload a photo, find my photo from the desktop, get to see all of my lovely professional headshots, click on Illinois, open, and then you can drag to reposition it. So boom. And then you want to click Save down here at the bottom right corner. All right, so we have Illinois members of AGPT. There is our picture. And there's a few other things. So like I said before, you can change or you can add members here at any time. It'll pull up suggested members based off of your friends. You know, I think my mom somehow got her way on the Illinois page. I'm not quite sure. Someone approved her. But try to keep it to the AGPT members if you're able to. You can link an existing group. So if your state has a page and you want to link to that state page, you can do that here and click on this button right here. So there's a couple of different tabs here. So we have the About section. So I want you to go up here to the left, click on About. And you can see it's very naked. So we're going to go to About this group, Description. We're going to click on Add a Description. Now in this description, there's two examples that you can use, and they are in the welcome packet. So right now I'm on page, goodness gracious, I don't even know, page 8 of the welcome packet. So there's two examples. There's an example here and an example here. You are more than welcome to just copy and paste and put your state name and insert your information where it needs to be inserted. Or if you want to come up with your own, that's fine as well. So I'm just going to copy and paste this one. And then you would go through and change the information where like insert your state name here. But I'm not going to do that for time's sake. So I confirm. There's my description. The other thing that you can do is you have your members. So you can see all your members here. and then top recent posts and photos. This is kind of your about is kind of a summary page here. So this next tab, discussion, you can go through here. This is where your members will actually post. So anytime you update the page, it's going to say that there was an update. Like here's the updated cover photo and here's my updated description. And if I wanted to post something like come see us at CSM, we will spell correctly, rock your socks. So you can just click and type. There's other different ways to make it fancy and whatnot, which is fun. Post. So you can just post a regular comment here. Another thing that Facebook has added to these groups as a feature, which is a lot of fun, is polls. And I've seen California do this before, but you can actually create a poll. Ask something. Are we having fun yet? So you type in your question, and then you can add an option. Yes. No. So there's that option as well, posting a poll. And then you can post that, and then the members can go through and they can answer. You can use this a couple of different ways, and then obviously the page will track it for you, which is not a problem. Something I want to add over up to the right as well here, underneath adding the members, is you can also add a location. So if you want to add your location, you can. If not, I left this blank for the Illinois page. Feel like I needed to fill it in since we're all kind of widespread. I'm up in Chicago. Jamie's down closer to St. Louis, so it just didn't make sense for us. If you want to put your location, that's fine. Just obviously be safe and don't give anybody your address because there's a lot of creepos out there. Yeah, and then they will also put suggested groups to the side. This is just bot generated based off of your activity. So obviously I've done a lot of research. NAU is where I went to undergrad. My husband is part of the AOTA and whatnot. All right, but anyways, going up, we had about, we went through discussions. Now you can go to members. So in the members page, you can either find members. So let's say I've got 400 members, ideally. And I really need to find Beth to talk to her. So I can just type in her name and it'll search for me. It's kind of like a Google for the members. The other thing that I can do is I can add an admin or a moderator. So I will go find member. I'm going to find that member. So let's say I want to make Beth an admin. Maybe there's 2 state advocates and I want to make my co-advocate an admin for the site. So I will go to Beth's little profile here after I search her. I'm going to click on this button. That is not how I want to do that. Now I'm going to have to look this up. Sorry, guys. We're going to explore this together. They really did change a lot. Never mind. So that's not how we do that. Coming back to this page, this is events. So we've used this in the Illinois page for the senior athlete fitness examination and also for some of the regional meetings. When you go to event, you can create an event. And it's pretty straightforward. You can upload a photo or video, the event name, location, how often it's happening, description, and whatnot. And then you can also, what I love about this is you can invite all your members. So before you would create an event and then have to go through individually and invite members one by one, which was super tedious, but now they've changed it so you can invite all members at once. And then you would just click create and it would create the event. And then it also sends them a reminder 1 week before the event as well. So they are able to, be reminded. And then when you create an event, it shows up on your calendar. So if you want to kind of keep up with what events are being made, maybe you and your co-advocate are doing things in different regions of the state and you want to see what else is going on or want to schedule a call, you can kind of see what's going on within the group. All right, back up to that left-hand side toolbar, moderate group. We're going to go down. So there's admin activities. So we want to click on admin and moderators. Okay, so this is an activity page, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. So don't worry about that at all. Scheduled posts, so you can actually schedule posts ahead of time. I'm not a big fan of that. I usually just do it as it goes, but you can figure that out as well. Member requests. So when somebody requests to be a member, so let's say you put your Facebook link out on the page, or your email that you send out to your new members, say, hey, join our Facebook group. And now all of a sudden you have 7 new people. When you get a member request, you're going to find that in through here. So you can sort them by groups, invited, gender, newest first. You can approve all or decline all. People who joined Facebook recently. So all that. It's another feature for member requests is you can actually ask pending members questions. So let's say if you're trying to make sure that you only want AGPT people or something in your group. So, you can ask them kind of a question before they're able to join the group. It's kind of like if you guys have ever seen Monty Python where they're trying to cross the bridge and the guy has to ask the questions. And if you get the questions right, you get sprung back and they ask what the velocity speed of a sparrow is. So you can ask a question like, what is your EPTA member number? And that would be a way for you to be able to kind of look people up and see if they're actually a section member or not. And there's other different things, but then you can kind of screen people as well. Approval notifications. So you can get on your personal Facebook notifications when people ask to join the group. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. I recommend keeping this on because if maybe you go a week or two before you check back on this page, somebody might lose momentum in their interest in AGPT, some new member that you just onboarded. There are also some rules. So there are some rules that you can post here in the State Advocate page, or in the welcome packet. We do have some moderation, comment moderation and moderation duties. You guys are welcome to copy, and that is not spelled right. You guys are welcome to copy and paste these in, but just kind of setting some rules like, offensive language will not be tolerated here. The moderators and the admin reserve the right to reserve the right to kick people out of the group or to speak up or delete comments that are not seen within line with the vision of AGPT. If members report any content as offensive, it will show up here. And then sometimes Facebook is good about just updating content or flagging content as well, and that will show up here as well. All right. So what I am thinking is that I'm trying to think of how to add an admin. I'm going to have to look that up. If you guys can figure it out, let us know. So that's everything. So you guys can add pictures, you guys can add files here. This is just a really good way for you guys. You guys can kind of explore the space from here, but this is just a general information on how to set it up, get it to a point where you can, work it. When you're on the main page, you can also share this group. So, I made this group and I want to advertise it to my friends on Facebook. So you can click that share button and this posts on your timeline, or you can post on a friend's timeline, share in a group, share an event. So, you can if you wanted to, if you made your Facebook and you want to share this in a group and you want to share it in the, Colorado members of AGPT or Nebraska members of AGPT or something like that. If there's another group that you want to share it in, you can do that as well. Sorry about all the comments. It's my birthday today, guys. So I'm getting a lot of them. I apologize. So, and then there's this more button, which is kind of a shortcut to a lot of different aspects of it. But you guys can kind of get in and play around in it. The last thing I want to show you is how to share a link on somebody else's page to your page, because I know that was a question that people had. So I'm going to go to my home button. I'm going to go to my home page here. I am going to find something that I want to share on my page. So let's say I'm scrolling down, and I see the Academy of Bariatric Physical Therapy page. I'm like, wow, you know, this link that I just saw, man, this music and memory helps patients with dementia rediscover the soundtrack to their lives. This looks pretty darn cool. I want to put that on my page. I think my members in my state should see this. The way I do that is that below a link that is shared, there will be a button to the right that says share. You'll click on the button, and these options come up. Sorry, again, that's the dog. She's having a rough time today. All right, so this comes up. You can do share now, which means if I click this, it's just going to immediately share it to my own timeline here. So if I go and I look at my timeline, well, hey, how about that? That just popped up. Wonderful. That's what I wanted, but that's not what I wanted. So we're going to go back. Academy of Geriatric Physical Therapy. And if you're not a member of this group, highly recommend it. They've got a lot of good stuff, and usually I'm reposting what they're putting on here. So let's say you want to put it to your state page. Click share. You're going to click share in a group because you made a group. Your group name. So I'm actually going to share it to my real one instead of the goofy one because I haven't shared this one yet. So it says group, and then there's this bar up here. You start typing in your name, it'll auto-populate. Pick your group. And you can either say something about this or not. You don't have to fill this out, and then just click post. It'll say successfully shared. And then I will go look. Here it is. So that, I know it's a lot of information and whatnot, and I do apologize for not having all of the answers because Facebook has really changed quite a bit. So yeah, I definitely recommend having a Facebook page. This is how you set it up. Please feel free to email me. Again, my email is moyerheidis@gmail.com. I think I've emailed everybody at least once or twice so far with scheduling these calls. But please contact me if you guys have any questions or concerns. And just let us know if you're having any issues or problems. So I hope that this helped. This is a lot easier, I think, than just trying to explain over the phone or through an email. So I hope that this visualization really helped you guys out. And sorry it's so long. And again, sorry I didn't have the answers, but feel free to let me know if you guys figure out those other things. So have a great rest of your day. And again, let us know if you have any problems.